and flourishing of life on this planet. Let us all therefore turn to yoga, which will help us achieve this internal balance and harmony so that we can spread this happiness externally. This state of yogic bliss and noble vision of the people of India is the secret that helped India in its post-independence journey from being a modest economy beset with the challenges of partition to become the world's largest democracy, the sixth largest economy, the fourth best military, the sixth best in outer space, and the largest producer of generic drugs globally. We therefore dedicate today's event to the Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav for India at 75 celebrations. The most striking aspect of yoga is its simplicity, as it can be practiced by anyone, anywhere. We are happy to announce that the Indian Council of Cultural Relations is live streaming a unique yoga practice session called Chair Flow at the Desk, where your own desk in your office or school becomes your yoga recharging space. So, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let us use today's event to rededicate our passion and devotion to yoga. Thank you. Live streaming a unique yoga practice session called Chair Flow at the Desk, where your own
Thank you very much, sir. You may be seated now.
Or school becomes
now
your yoga
I have the honor
space.
of inviting His
Excellencies,
Excellency
guests,
Mr.
ladies and
Mohammad
gentlemen,
Musa Bello,
let us use
Honorable
today's
Minister of
event
FCT,
to rededicate
our
our
chief
passion
guest,
and devotion to
to
yoga.
kindly
Thank
give
you.
a goodwill message on the occasion. Thank you very much, sir. Now I have the honor of inviting His Excellency Mr. Mohammad Musa Bello, Honorable Minister of FCT, our chief guest, to kindly give a goodwill message on the occasion.
Your Excellency, the Acting High Commissioner of India to Nigeria, Mr. VSDL Surendra, Your Excellency, the Ambassador to Nigeria from the United Arab Emirates, Dr. Fahad Waid Al-Tafaq, other Excellencies present here, representative of the Honorable Minister of Information, the Acting High Commissioner of Kenya, representative of various government organizations, our very distinguished participants, especially the youth corps members, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. When His Excellency invited me a few days ago, he forgot to send me my own kit, so that's why I had to come like this. I would have been part of you. But on behalf of the Federal Capital Territory Administration and the entire residents of Abuja, it's my honor and pleasure to be here today, this morning, a very beautiful Abuja morning, for the 8th International Day of Yoga organized by the High Commission of India, Abuja. I wish to begin by commending the Indian High Commission for providing this opportunity that has enabled many gathered here this morning to observe and experience the physical and mental health benefits of yoga, which has its origin in the great country of India, but has now been embraced by many across the globe. In symbolizing the unity of mind and body, thought and action, restraint and fulfillment, harmony between human beings and nature, and a holistic approach to health, yoga has found an alternative way of ensuring the total well-being of humans. So it's my statement to you is quite brief actually, except that I feel highly honored to be here with you today, and I also hope that with the multitude of people I see here after this event, a lot of yoga centers will be opened in Abuja so that many will have the opportunity of this wonderful experience. Having said that, I do hope that in some time in the future I will also be seated here with you to participate. Thank you very much. After this event, a lot of yoga centers will open in Abuja.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable time.
This wonderful experience. Having said that,
Zambia, UK. We showed you a live yoga demonstration in Nigeria. We are spanning continents and time zones to show you how yoga is being celebrated on the occasion of the 8th edition of the International Yoga Day, when countries are joining each other in forming a guardian ring for yoga, a very unique celebration of the International Day of Yoga. It's a one-of-a-kind program. You can solely see this exclusively on DD India. We began our broadcast at 3 a.m. Indian Standard Time, and this is going to be a 19-hour non-stop continuous comprehensive coverage that will only conclude at 10 p.m. Indian Standard Time. We continue to be joined by a very special guest, former Indian ambassador to the UAE, Poland as well as Lithuania, and also ICCR's Goodwill Ambassador for Yoga for the year 2016, Ambassador Chandramohan Bhandari. Ambassador Bhandari, how important is it to learn yoga from a credible practitioner or a certified practitioner, or learn yoga from credible sources? And is the mobile app, which Ramesh was earlier talking about, one of the credible sources to learn yoga?
Yes, very important that we must know the simple physiology and anatomy of the body. I mean, these days medical science is based on anatomy, physiology and biochemistry. All these three things are part of Ayurveda. So Ayurveda gives us very good knowledge, basic knowledge, which each individual must have: what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat, how to eat. These days we are thinking yoga for health, but our eating habits, our sleeping habits, so many things count for the physical health. Just the thought process also counts a lot on the health. So if I can train the thinking of the person, the body health will get trained on its own. It's just like if the driver knows a good understanding of the car that he or she is driving, then the person will handle it in a better way. But if the person doesn't know, then it crashes very quickly. These days these automated vehicles, if you just start, you can't make out which button to press, kind of thing. So something similar is happening with us, that previously we knew quite a bit about our body because of our traditions. Now we have forgotten those traditions and we have come to this modern way of living, where everything is on fast track, fast food, fast life, things like that. So therefore about yoga also, these days yoga has become a kind of fitness craze, and in that process people are trying to play with it, and so it is becoming like athletics and things like that, which it is not.
Right.
Unless you have good breathing rhythm with the asanas, you won't get the results that you should get. In fact, in my experiences, in 3 to 5 days we can fix lot of posture issues, especially the spine. So therefore all the asanas are training on the spine. But if you don't know the correct way how to do it, also these days people come to us and they say, sir, we have been told not to sit on the floor, we have been told not to bend, and things like that. And they are amazed that within 3 to 5 days they can do all these things. They can sit, they can bend, and they find that they are better now than before.
How useful is the common yoga protocol in this context?
In this context it is useful, but it hasn't got the input of breaths into it. We say, but we don't explain how it is working. So it is very important that we should explain how breathing is helping. Breathing actually, for example, why we go on walking, we go on long walks, we go on jogging primarily to increase the breathing levels. So if we increase the breathing levels without running, we will get better results. because for running we are using energy, body energy, while without using body energy, if we can increase the breathing, the volume of air that we breathe per breath, you will get much better health results. So the common yoga protocol is okay, but different people have different situations. They may not be able to follow the common yoga protocol. So therefore, a person who is, say, elderly, who is not able to sit properly, who is mostly bedridden, then the common yoga protocol can do nothing for that person.
Dr. Bhandari, I would have loved to continue talking to you on this very interesting topic, but unfortunately, we have completely run out of time on this segment of our broadcast. So we'll have to leave it at that. Dr. Bhandari, thank you so much for making time for us here at DD India. And viewers, you're watching the continuous coverage here on DD India of the International Day of Yoga 2022, live and exclusive. And as Munmun said, you can watch this till 10 p.m. India time. So 7 more hours of pure, adulterated coverage of the yoga celebrations from all over the world, including, as we go along, to the Americas and other parts of the world as well. So keep watching DD India, don't go anywhere. But we leave you with the visuals of more Yoga Day celebrations taking place in Berlin in Germany.
Sehr gut. Nochmal. Atme ein, strecke dich richtig hoch, sodass du richtig die Streckung im ganzen Arm fühlst. Strecke dich hoch und atme dabei. Atme nicht vergessen. Ausatmen. Zurück, die Ferse zum Boden. Entspanne die Ellenbogen und langsam bringe die Arme seitlich nach unten. Entspanne. Jetzt machen wir eine Übung, ein Asana, die Baum heißt. Wir zeigen euch verschiedene Versionen. Die eine ist, der linke Fuß ist auf dem Boden. Winkel dein rechtes Bein ein und lege deinen rechten Fuß auf dem linken Oberschenkel. Wenn du das nicht kannst, du kannst es auf der Wade legen. Und wenn du es nicht kannst, es gibt 3 Versionen, einfach die Fußspitzen auf dem Boden. Alle Versionen sind perfekt. Atme ein, bringe die Arme seitlich nach oben, bringe die Hände zusammen, strecke dich hoch. Du kannst so bleiben oder die zweite Version ist, du kannst einfach so mit den Händen vor der Brust stehen. Das, was für dich bequem und angenehm ist, okay? Schau, was für dich gut ist. Sehr gut. Jetzt ausatmen, löse die Finger und bringe die Arme seitlich nach unten. Sehr gut. Entspanne dein Bein, stelle dein Bein auf den Boden. Das gleiche für die andere Seite, nicht wahr? Also, linker Fuß auf die Innenseite vom rechten Oberschenkel. Du kannst so bleiben oder, wie gesagt, die Wade oder so einfach, so wie ich es mir gerade einfach mache. Lasse die Zehenspitzen auf dem Boden. Atme ein, strecke die Arme seitlich nach oben. Verschränke die Finger, Zeigefinger zum Decke oder zum Himmel und strecke dich hoch. Mit einem Lächeln klappt es super. Atme weiter. Sehr gut. Manche tanzen ein wenig, wie wir hier sehen. Sehr gut. Ausatmen. Bringe die Arme seitlich nach unten. Und entspanne dein Bein. Sehr gut. Seid ihr dabei? Seid ihr bei uns? Sicher? Sehr gut. Dann atme ein, bringe die Arme nach vorne und hoch. Und jetzt mit dem Ausatmen beuge dich nach vorne, aber strecke die Arme richtig nach vorne. Und bringe deine Hüfte nach hinten. Und schaue zu uns. Ich sehe noch nicht alle lächeln. Gut, gehe runter. So tief du kannst. Entweder die Hände auf dem Boden oder lege einfach die Hände auf den Oberschenkeln. Das ist auch okay. Ja? Oder auf den Waden, da wo du ankommst. Seid ihr bei uns? Zeigt uns. Könnt ihr das? Gut. Atme ein, strecke die Arme nach vorne und komme hoch. Ausatmen, die Arme zur Seite und nach unten. Die Hände auf deine Hüfte. Lass uns so drehen. Die Hände auf die Hüfte. Fester Stand. Und jetzt atme ein, strecke dich hoch und mit dem Ausatmen beuge dich nach hinten. Aber presse die Hände gegen deine Hüfte. Gehe nur so weit du kannst. Sehr gut. Super. Sehr gut. Mit dem Einatmen komme hoch und entspanne die Arme. Jetzt machen wir noch eine Asana, die habt ihr bestimmt irgendwo schon gesehen. Asana ist eine Körperübung. Stelle die Füße, stelle dich seitlich zu uns. So,
Exala, desce o lado esquerdo. Quando chegar lá embaixo, inspira, retorna a cabeça para o centro devagar. E relaxa. Relaxa os braços ao lado do corpo, as mãos ativas. E a gente agora vai inspirar, crescer os braços lateral. Eleva lá no alto. Exala, desce.
Brazil, from these visuals that we are beaming to you are live visuals coming in from Brazil. As the sun rises, people are welcoming the sun with Surya Namaskar, performing yoga on the 8th International Day for Yoga 2022.
Well, the location in itself is well known across the world. It's Christ the Redeemer, also called Cristo Redentor in Portuguese, which is one of the languages that is spoken in Brazil, the predominant one. And this is a location that is known to the entire Christian world and the entire world as well, because it has been featured in so many iconic videos and images, even music videos and films, that one can really keep on listing those iconic moments, but one will still not be able to put them down on paper. That list is so long, and it has an association with Brazil's identity as well. So it is indeed Yoga for Humanity, which is the theme of the 8th International Day of Yoga today, that all these images from over 75 iconic locations around the world, one of those being Rio's Christ the Redeemer. Christ the Redeemer is being beamed out across the world for entire humanity. Amrit.
Yes, that's right. This is Rio's, iconic location, the recall value of Rio world over. In fact, Gautam, it is the 4th largest statue of Jesus Christ anywhere in the world, and the largest art deco style sculpture on the planet.
Well, certainly known as the new 7 wonders of the world, one of them really Christ the Redeemer. That's where these yogasans are being performed in Brazil. Brazil, of course, in Latin America, so the time difference is quite significant. Amritpal just told us that it's 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning over there, 6:30 in the morning over there, and that's a great way to begin the day. That's what these people are doing, performing the common yoga protocol there, and you can see how people are being guided very, very methodically in sequence and awakening each part of the body and the mind, the psyche. Everything happens simultaneously for the body and the soul. That's what yoga, or yoga as we say it in English, is meant for.
Gautam, you can see its rays, the sun touching the face of on the face of the instructor who's guiding, leading and guiding the rest of the participants of this event at that iconic location in Brazil. Truly, it is one sun, one world. Really, as the theme says, yoga for humanity. So this International Yoga Day on 2022, it's truly a moment which is being celebrated world over, and the message of Vasudev Kutumbakam is being brought out from these various more than 75 countries. As you said, this beautiful visuals that we see of that iconic location of Rio. As Gautam just said, this is a statue which is distinguished by its style and symbolism. It's of course a religious Catholic statue depicting Christ standing with his arms crossed and looking at the city, and his attitude calls for redemption of the Cariocas, or the residents of Rio, but this iconic from this iconic location, the message of the whole humanity being one, and yoga for humanity. This is something which was picked up from the role yoga played during the pandemic in terms of healing people through a non-traditional system of medicine, when the scientific community, the medical community didn't really know how to react to something which had the scale and magnitude of which humanity hadn't seen since the Spanish flu, for which took place more than about 100 years back. So the role that yoga played there, and today this message being beamed world over. Gautam.
Even in the post-COVID phase, especially those people who are suffering from long COVID, and we'll speak to experts about that as well, yoga particularly has been quite useful for those patients who felt long-term symptoms of COVID long after having recovered, and then some people have been reinfected as well. So all that has a relevance there too. But just look at these iconic images, Amrit, beaming all over the world really, from Rio de Janeiro at Christ the Redeemer. Brazil in general, the largest Latin American country, is known for so many things: the rainforests, its vibrancy, samba, the carnival, and now of course it will be known for yoga as well.
That's right, Gautam. We can see this small group, but really a committed group. This is the Indian missions across the world in more than 75 countries are organizing this relay yoga event as the sun rises in the countries where it is right now. These events are being organized and beamed world over. This is the first of its kind, unique, innovative in that sense, an exercise which perhaps bears no example anywhere in the world where yoga is being celebrated. So it's not just a message of yoga for Indians, but yoga taking the message of yoga, healing through yoga, the philosophy of yoga about having a well balanced life, living a well balanced life, which is also important in the present world that we live in, Gautam.
Well, definitely. I almost thought that that is going to be another iconic asana which began with the prose of the Christ the Redeemer, and then of course there was a bit of leaning down and bending involved. But again, that is again a moment to capture really, where everybody is in that posture of Christ the Redeemer themselves. It just speaks to how universal yoga is really. If you look at postures, if you look at even healing protocols in some of the other cultures, some of the aspects of yoga can be seen from Tai Chi to other cultures as well, in Japan as well, and which is why yoga is being embraced universally. If you just Google some facts, you'll find out the highest number of studios of yoga are in Canada, which is quite amazing.
Absolutely.
And Even there are cultures in the world, cultures like Bali, which is majoritarian Hindu, where yoga is as intrinsic perhaps to their culture as it is in India. It goes way back over there as well, and there are lots of followers of Patanjali yoga over there.
Yes, in fact, I saw the story that you had done from the yoga studios in Bali when you were visiting Bali last month. You know, it's to my mind, this yoga is really now beyond borders, where people slowly realize the benefits of yoga, not just as a form of exercise, but as something which gives you a balanced approach or an outlook towards life, which tells you to live in a more healthy and a more aware manner of connecting your consciousness, the individual consciousness, with the larger consciousness of the universe, and sort of joining that consciousness, because yoga by in itself means communion or union of one with the larger world, with the universe, with the cosmos.
Yes, if you look at the contemporary problems of the world, what is it? People have emotional issues, people have work issues, stress related issues, people have issues because of the environment, bad air, bad water, bad soil, and to all these problems yoga has one solution or the other, and which is what people are gradually realizing, and which is why the followers of yoga are just growing and growing, and people sometimes don't even know that they are doing yoga. They just call them stretches, and that too is yoga.
Okay, these beautiful visuals of Rio from this is the highest point, Gautam, of Rio. All right, from Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, let's go down to a remote, almost inaccessible part of the world, the Antarctic region. The international, these are visuals from from Antarctica, the Indian science expedition there. So our scientists based at the base camp at the Indian scientific expedition to Antarctica, also performing yoga on the International Yoga Day. Understandably, the numbers are less because it's a very, very small mission that we have there, but these are our scientists who live there in the almost punishing conditions that exist in Antarctica, and they are also being a part of the 8th International Day for Yoga at the International Antarctica Research Station that India has.
Yes, this has come in from Chukotka, located in the Arctic Circle in Russia, which is where the scientists are of the NSCS. Antarctica. From Antarctica. This is the Antarctic region.
This is Antarctica.
Right.
These are from Antarctica.
From the other side of the world.
Yeah, the other side of the world, South Pole. So these
where it is summer now.
Where it is summer
now, absolutely.
So you can see that's a small group of scientists who are performing yoga there, and
they basically, there is no indigenous population there because of the climatic conditions there. But this is the International Antarctica Research Center. Now, from Antarctica, let's change position, and go to Ghana.
Yes, we're spinning the globe a bit, and we're taking you across to Accra, which is Ghana, and that is on the West African coast, country again known for its beaches, but more than that too. And Ghana, of course, again another iconic location.
All right.
DJ Drogba, that's the sports minister of Ghana now, and he's an iconic football player. one of the first players from Africa to score 100 goals in the English Premier League. I'm sorry, yes, this is Accra, Ghana, not
This is
Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah, this is Accra, Ghana, and this location, the Black Star Square. The Black Star Square in Accra, Ghana. It's 9:30 in the morning in Accra, Ghana, from where we are beaming these visuals to you from.
Let's talk about the location a bit more because it has an interesting history, Amrit.
Absolutely. Well, this Black Star Square is also known as the Independence Square. It's a public square in Accra, bordered by the Accra Sports Stadium and the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. The square, Gautam, hosts the annual Independence Day celebrations as well as other national events of Ghana. So something like our Vijay Pacific can draw a comparison,
yes.
or perhaps an iconic building like the Red Fort, but this is a square where they which is called the Independence Square as well, where most of their independence related celebrations or any national celebrations take place. So it is from this iconic location that we are beaming these visuals to you. An event organized under the the Garden Ring on the International Day for Yoga, the 8th International Day for Yoga 2022, which is being celebrated in over 75 countries across the globe, and our missions abroad have pitched in to organize these events. But as you can see, it's not just Indians but the local population, the local African population. In fact, the gentleman who's leading it, who's
Yes.
leading this group, and as we see, many other participants are actually people of African origin or people from Africa, the locals who are participating in yoga, and the yoga instructor who's leading them. In fact, as we can see on our screens, the Indians who are there,
They're following him.
they're following this African gentleman who seems to be the instructor there. So from this iconic location, the Black Star Square or the Independence Square in Accra, Ghana, where this event is being held, is being live to you. It's morning there, not early morning, but about 9:30 in the morning.
Bring the head to the normal position. Similarly,
And these visuals that we beam to you
The location is of a lot of relevance to all Ghanaians really, because it goes back to 1957 when the first Prime Minister of the country had commissioned the construction of the square to celebrate the nation's independence, and this coincided with the visit of Queen Elizabeth II. The construction happened to end in 1961, and it was named the Black Star Square or the Independence Square.
At that time, it was Ghana was known as the Gold Coast,
Yes.
Gautam. So, Kwame Nkrumah became the first Prime Minister of Gold Coast, which is now known as Ghana.
Certainly, certainly. And those were two of the iconic locations that we have got to you in this hour, along with me, Gautam and Amrit, and we're joined by our guests as well. Dr. Chandra Mohan Bhandari is with us, noted yoga guru and ICCR's ambassador for yoga 2016. Thank you for staying with us, sir. And we have Dr. S.M. Raheja as well, senior physician and former MS-GB Pant Hospital, New Delhi. Dr. Raheja, if I could ask you first, in terms of how the world is following yoga, a lot of reasons can be ascribed to it. The soft power of yoga, the appeal of yoga as a spiritual guide to your inner soul, apart from the physical aspect. But as a doctor, why do you think so many people are taking to it?
I think the most important is the benefits of yoga. Yoga basically is an ancient science which is 5,000 year plus old, And now people have realized that yoga has pleiotropic benefits on our body. The most important is it integrates mind, body and intellect. So, with that there is a complete harmony of the body. You see, our body has got parasympathetic system, autonomic nervous system and sympathetic nervous system. When the sympathetic nervous system is overactive, you will have anxiety, stress, fear, and once the parasympathetic system is there, you will have low heart rate, laziness. So, yoga basically regulates our autonomic nervous system also. So, there is a balance in the body. So, with that you will find that we have done so many studies at GB Pant also, and we have even seen benefits to the heart attack patients, coronary artery disease, and yoga plays an important role for prevention of obesity, heart disease, coronary artery disease, stroke, high blood pressure, asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, even cancer, because the stress levels are low. Then it is very good for your joint health, because in yoga what we have seen, there is a increased secretion of synovial fluid which lubricates our joints. Then it builds our bones and muscles, and even the flexibility in the muscles is increased. So, our body is getting physical strength with flexibility with mental strength. When we are doing yoga, our body is releasing bliss hormones like endorphin, serotonin. So, they give us a feeling of well-being, cheerful, feeling of bliss. You see, even I am doing yoga for last 25 years. Even today I was at the yoga session at CWG. So, you feel so cheered up. Even if you are tired, you are depressed, take a rest for 5 minutes, do yoga, you will feel cheerful. And at the same time, our stress hormones like cortisol, noradrenaline, adrenaline, that is suppressed. So, our heart rate will be low, our BP will be low. And now there are studies which has been done at a very large scale, and yoga has shown that in yoga we get the benefit at the cellular level, like the oxygen capacity of the mitochondria in the human body, that improves. And with that our mitochondria, our body cells are able to utilize our oxygen in a better way. Like, and at the same time, when we are doing deep breathing like pranayam, we are putting at least 10 times more oxygen inside our lungs and body. So, oxygen supply to the body is increasing, oxygen utilization capacity is increasing. So, what you expect? You will feel revitalized, you will feel energetic. Even I have experienced, after a lot of work, if you are tired, you do yoga, you will feel fresh. Early morning if you get up, I think that is the best time, what yogacharyas advise, empty stomach, early morning, you will feel fresh and energetic. The difference between exercise and yoga is, you do yoga, you feel more energy. You feel like working in the office for 8 to 10 hours continuously. If you do exercise, you will feel bit tired after that. In yoga it is otherwise. So, there are multiple benefits. If you see, it basically balances our body.
And what about sleep? Because a lot of people say that time pe so nahi paate hain, kaam hota hai.
Yes, I think that is very important.
And they don't get up in the morning to exercise.
Yes, the yoga is going to decrease your stress levels. As I very well said, ki the stress hormones like norad, adrenaline, cortisol, they are sympathetic hormones. They are releasing in response to the flight and fear, anxiety, stress. So, yoga will balance that, and at the same time our bliss hormones are more. So, you are in a feeling of bliss and relaxation. If you are doing certain asanas in the evening, you will feel relaxed and cool. So, yoga has an important role to decrease your stress, your anxiety, and at the same time it induces relaxation, or feeling of relaxation and good sleep. Because sleep is basically related to the relaxation, like you are doing shavasana, that is what we see, corpse pose. So, you will feel relaxed and cool. There are certain stretching and relaxation techniques which again relaxes our body. So, I am speaking this with my own experience. I have been doing yoga since 1995. So, my job has been very stressful, very challenging throughout. So, yoga was the only way out which could calm down my nerves, calm down my body even when I was under a lot of pressure. So I could handle it well. It keeps you smiling, cool, calm, composed, and that is the way of life we should go.
Okay. Let me bring in Dr. Chandramohan Bhandari. Dr. Bhandari, you're a Yogacharya, a yoga guru. For somebody who doesn't know what yoga is, what is yoga? Is it a set of breathing and stretching exercises? Is it more?
जी बहुत अच्छा प्रश्न आपने किया. It's a very good question that you have put. What is yoga? So yoga is a complete science. Yoga tells us that I am not just this physical body. These days we are thinking only of the physical health of the body, fitness. So yoga goes much beyond fitness. What Dr. Raheja has said, the person in this body who maintains the calmness. The body doesn't have calmness on its own. It's the person in the body who, if the person is calm, the body will become calm. You had a very good question, you know, a person who wakes up late in the, works late in the night and obviously can't get up early in the morning. So that's where the Ayurveda tells us our daily routine is a very important part of yoga, because we need to understand that we are part of nature. So if we don't have harmony with nature, we will always run into trouble if no matter what we do. So therefore both yoga and Ayurveda, these are integrative sciences. The Ayurveda helps to maintain the health of the body, and the yoga helps you to maintain the health of the person in the body. And this integration of these two is yoga.
Now, what is this person in the body?
Yeah, yes, now you are coming to the point. Just like a car is useless without a driver, and the driver is useless without the car. So what you say, the soul, what is soul and what is body? It's exactly like the car and the driver. And if the two don't know each other, then it's a crisis situation. So what yoga science is actually doing, yoga science tells us what is breath, first thing. Second thing, it tells us what is posture, why we exercise all these postures, what Dr. Saab was saying. So these asanas are correcting the posture of the spine, all the flexibility of the joints, etc. So the breath is different, pranayama is different. So
and soul and prana are the same life energy?
Yes, they are interchangeable. So when the soul enters the body, the prana also enters in the body. But prana is the energy flow in the body, and the person in the body is the operator of the body. It's just like the driver.
So yoga is not for the body, that's the ripple effect.
Yes, absolutely.
It is for the soul.
Absolutely, it's the Ayurveda that is handling the health of your physical body. But the mental and the spiritual planes are totally governed by the yoga science. So therefore we need to we need to actually delve much deeper and understand the depth of yoga science. It's the highest science that can actually give you what is called self-realization. Self-realization is knowing who you are. So you are what your thoughts are. And that's how we start understanding the entity of God. What is God? God is ultimate knowledge. So therefore yoga science through our scriptures, if we go, for example, Vedanta, the Bhagavad Gita is ultimate in yoga science. The Patanjali Yoga Sutras are ultimate in yoga science. The entire psychiatry science of modern medicine is coming from Yoga Sutras, complete. So therefore, if we go to the depths of yoga science, then you will realize कि pranayam क्या है? Pranayam is to detach from the body and free the mind from your material world. As also, so it's the senses, the role of senses, it's the role of intellect, mind, what we call the subtle body inside this physical body. So once we understand these things, we can fix, you know, people having insomnia, sleep problems, people having depression. So here we are not needing the physical body. Here it's the person in the body and the tools, that is the mind, intellect, knowledge, etc. This is how the nervous system in the body can be completely brought into play. And then of course this marma science from Ayurveda is a magical science.
Okay.
And I mean I have a lot of Ayurveda friends with whom we synergize. So we know from Ayurveda how it is connected with yoga. And from yoga the Ayurveda people understand, okay, how the spiritual part of our existence. What Dr. Raheja rightly pointed out, the parasympathetic and sympathetic, the material brain and the spiritual brain, this harmony between the two sides is the role of both these yoga and Ayurveda together. So when we understand it that way, and this is what needs to be done, our youth who are constantly, you know, being manipulated by technology, Google is manipulating our
overstimulated
younger generation. So we are totally dependent on whatever the technology is saying. We have much more than that inside us. So therefore recognizing this ability that you have and honing it
further,
after all this technology.
We're being told that we're getting more live inputs now, Amrita. I think we're going across to another part of the world.
We're going to Senegal. Let's bring you these images from Senegal, where the International Day of Yoga is being organized. These images that my producer is just trying to play on the screen are images from that we are getting from Senegal, where under the Guardian Ring, as in over 75 countries of the world, the International Yoga Day is being marked and celebrated. One sun, one earth, and these visuals are being played out from Senegal.
Levez les bras et tirez vers l'arrière. Et expirez, on descend tout doucement. Gardez vos jambes tendues ou légèrement fléchies. Allez poser vos doigts ou vos paumes de main à côté de vos pieds. Baissez la tête, le front vers les genoux. Encore, inspirez, on se redresse, levez les bras, hop, et tirez bien vers l'arrière. Expirez, on descend à nouveau. Encore, inspirez, on se redresse, levez. Étirez bien vers l'arrière, allez encore. Expirez, on descend à nouveau. Inspirez une dernière fois, on se redresse, levez. Étirez encore, pied en arrière. Et expirez, on revient. Très bien, on se redresse maintenant, revenez à la verticale. Relâchez-vous. Très bien. Nous allons faire 2 enchaînements de Surya Namaskar. Ok. Et après cela, nous allons enchaîner avec le protocole. Donc vous avancez jusqu'à l'extrémité avant de votre tapis. Joignez vos pieds. Paumes des mains jointes au niveau de la poitrine. Maintenant, en inspirant, levez les bras. Hop. Et étirez comme tout à l'heure vers l'arrière. Expirez, on descend. Posez vos mains à côté de vos pieds comme tout à l'heure. Ou pliez légèrement vos genoux pour y parvenir. Je vais vous demander de reculer la jambe droite. Nous qui sommes là, nous allons reculer la jambe gauche. Ok? Pour qu'on soit dans la même direction. Donc reculez votre jambe droite. Nous, jambe gauche. Ok? Redressez la tête. Regardez devant. Décollez votre genou gauche. Décollez votre genou gauche. Donc, expirez, jambe gauche derrière. Maintenant, posez les genoux et descendez, tirez vers l'arrière. On va faire le petit facile. Yeah, Shashangasana. Très bien, on se redresse. On se redresse. Allez là, hop, Chaturanga Dandasana. Maintenant, inspirez, on se redresse là, poussez en posture du cobra, Bhujangasana. Expirez, on monte sur la plante des pieds, la tête en bas. Posture du chien, tête en bas. Encore posez les genoux au sol. Et étirez encore vers l'arrière en Shashangasana. Retour avec la jambe droite, votre jambe droite, nous, jambe gauche. Inspirez, amenez votre jambe droite. Expirez, amenez votre jambe gauche. Inspirez, on se redresse. Encore, joignez la paume des mains, tirez vers l'arrière, comme tout à l'heure. Et expirez, ramenez les mains au niveau de la poitrine. Encore. Inspirez, levez, étirez bien vers l'arrière. Expirez, on descend. Cette fois-ci avec votre jambe gauche, nous, notre jambe droite. Inspirez, reculez votre jambe gauche. Redressez la tête. Expirez, jambe derrière. Posez vos genoux, étirez vers l'arrière en Shashangasana. Inspirez, on se redresse. Et expirez, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inspirez, poussez up en posture du cobra. Bhujangasana, on bascule la tête vers l'arrière. Expirez, up, montez en posture du chien tête en bas.
So Gautam, as the sun rises in another country, these were live visuals that we were bringing from yet another iconic location from the country of Senegal, which you know, the world over, and I and you probably know because of football. And now yoga, you know, as a form of exercise, as a way of life, being you know, exhibited at that iconic location of Senegal. The message of yoga this year, the yoga International Day for Yoga, yoga for humanity, you know, joining all humanity through the exercise of yoga, which might have originated in the ancient times in India, but now gains more currency world over as the world realizes its usefulness, its utility, and how it connects us all as humanity, as humans.
Yes, it goes back to, in fact, our mythology and our scriptures, really, because the original yogi was supposed to be Adi Yogi, which is Lord Shiva. So it goes as far as back as that, but then of course there are different forms of yoga. What really became popular and well known and almost universally is the Patanjali form of yoga of sage Patanjali, and then of course there are modern versions as well, and there is no end to the kinds of yoga there is, but then the kind that is worth practicing is what Dr. Raheja was also talking about, and so was Dr. Bhandari, one which is for the body and for the mind and the soul. It brings all three together, doesn't it, Dr. Raheja?
But if you can, you know, add to that question, Dr. Raheja, you know, from the system of medicine that you come in from, that you practiced all your working life and you believe and you were trained to, you don't really, you know, accept the existence of any soul or any inner body or this thing, but some, you know, but your branch or your medicine also accepts that it does benefit the body and your general well-being.
Even in allopathy, the concept of life force is there, isn't it?
Yes, I will tell you.
Okay.
Now the latest definition of health as per WHO is, health is a state of well-being of physical health, mental health, spiritual health and social health. So ultimately now even World Health Organization.
WHO says spiritual health as well?
Spiritual
and
health.
Social. And social. And of course we are a social
now that
being.
there are four aspects. So once we talk about spirituality, that is an integral part of yoga, and it is not merely the absence of disease. So you will call an individual healthy when he has good physical health, like strong body, good muscles, he can talk, he can walk, he can do routine works well, he can run, he can walk, he can do cycle, whatever is. Mental health, he has peace of mind, good sleep, relaxation.
His mental faculties are active,
Yes.
yes.
And social health, when we say our good relation with our junior, senior, family, peers, brothers, father, mothers, neighbors, like that, isn't it? And yoga teaches us a good behavior also, isn't it? And then come the spiritual health. Spiritual health is when you integrate your body, mind and intellect. When you integrate all, it is a part of yoga. Yoga means basically to unite, union.
That's right, union, that's right.
That is the basic concept. So once we are uniting mind, body and spirituality together.
No, but
that is a
what is spiritual health really? Like for a person
spiritual
like
health
me who
is
doesn't
when,
understand.
you know, this what Dr. Bhandari just said. Physical health is body strength,
Right.
this thing. Mental health is you are cool, you are calm,
Your mental
you are strong,
faculties
you are
are
able
active,
to
yeah.
handle difficult situations, challenges in life, you are able to handle it.
You don't have nervous breakdowns.
Spiritual health is when you connect to your inner self. Inner self is when you calm down into an asana like pranayam, dhyana. This is called dhyan. You know, yoga has got 8 this thing like yam, niyam, dhyan. So once you go to that stage, you will realize that this human body is not just mere the physical existence. It is something beyond it. You have that self realization. So that is spirituality. Spirituality is when you are connecting to yourself, connecting to higher up, the spirit. So that is spirituality, the God, what we call. So that calms our mind, that calms our nerves, that calms our body. So what I feel is yoga is a complete way of living, because you know, it calms you, it gives you physical strength, mental health, spiritual health, and at the same time, if you go, yoga is a complete way of living. It's a complete way of living in a way, it also teaches you detachment, isn't it? Like this world is a physical
Existence,
so, physical existence. So you must have felt, you buy a new car, it gives you happiness for a short time. You buy something new, it gives you happiness for a few more days, but again that will settle down. So once you are a yogi, you are into yourself, you will be happy within yourself, whether you are alone or you are with so many people around. So that is the beauty of yoga.
Certainly.
It's a state of bliss, what I say.
Okay.
As we have discussed, when we are doing, we are releasing bliss hormones like dopamine, serotonin, endorphin. So all these hormones will calm your mind, bring a feeling of well-being, happiness, cheerful. Ki sab theek hai yaar. Even in difficult situation, you are able to calm yourself. And we strongly believe that when you make a decision with a cool, calm and confident mind, you will make a good decision.
All right.
Okay.
Anything which is done under stress and anxiety is not going to pay.
True, true. Dr. Raheja, we are having an interesting discussion. We'll come back to that, but let's first go across now to the Arctic, where you know this yoga was organized in a city called Chukotka. Gautam, how do you?
Chukotka.
Chukotka in the Arctic Circle in Russia. If I can ask my producer to you know, beam us those visuals from the Arctic Circle, the town of Chukotka in Russia.
The kind of images that you see on International Day of Yoga being practiced there as well. by a small community of people, because largely the place is inhospitable. There's peak summer there, but still very cold.